edition of the Estate Summit and Awards 2014, an initiative by Franchise India and Estate World, was held recently in New Delhi to deliberate on how to leverage the change surrounding the real estate industry and make it attractive for investors. The conference was a conglomeration of over 250 leading developers, C-level real estate professionals, policy makers and government office holders.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome all the members of the real estate industry to over here on the 7th occasion of the 7th Estate World Summit and the awards. I always find heartening when the whole industry gets together, gets united and works towards a common cause, which is for the growth of the industry. I think that is really how industries change and industry sees new growth coming into them. I feel two things which have really become pertinent to any industry today are disruption and change. And what is more important is how are we going to live with that? I think the answer probably to this time or the kind of situation that we all are in perhaps best lies in inventing new consumption rather than addressing the existing consumption that exists in the market, because that is the way things are moving. So coming to the subject, I think, personally, I think we've probably hit our low in 2014. We've seen a change of government. Nobody knew where we were going. And then, of course, the government looks more promising now. And now we are probably only scheduled to go one way, which I think is upwards. One of the biggest opportunities and probably also one of the biggest risks I see in the coming times is probably the smart city concepts. But my question is, are we really prepared to meet what these smart cities are calling for? Smart cities are not really about having a great facade of a city and probably well laid out roads. It's going to be much, much more. I think smart cities would probably need to have a culture which fits a 20-hour or an 18-hour lifestyle, whether it is for work or whether it is for leisure, that the time will tell, but it needs to have a setup or an infrastructure for at least meeting 20 hours of the day as good as whether it was morning or night. Now for this, I think the biggest what it will really take is working in collaboration with the government and understanding the broader picture of the city first before we start constructing houses or schools or hospitals or malls or whatever it is that it falls under our province of our work. So, some of us might say that, we really don't know where we are going. But when you don't know where you're going, these are really, as I say, the best of times or the worst of times. You either hit the jackpot or you don't even hit the pot. Let's be as futuristic as possible as to meet our demands, with the final thought that consumption would need to be created. It cannot be addressed. Mark my words, ladies and gentlemen, you would need to think differently if you need to sell your properties or your projects to the end customer. So welcome once again. This forum is really all about you. Please feel free to ask as many questions as you want. This is a forum where the industry looks for answers within itself, and answers probably lie in bits and parts with some of us, and together we can actually find a cohort answer to the situations we are looking at. So thank you very much and welcome once again to the Estate Summit and Awards.
The inaugural session of the summit focused on the growth opportunities amidst changing times in the real estate sector. The speakers also talked about urban strategies and the change needed for designing smart cities.
The whole concept of a city core and then a urban sprawl all around mega cities has to be dismantled. So the smart cities cannot be designed this way. They will have to be designed in clusters. Even the existing cities, future development has to be done in clusters, which I talked about. So complete change in planning process has to come, and then the city leaders and the urban development authorities will have to think of economic development, environmental issues, all combined together. You cannot leave out these two, only do physical planning. Economic development, job creation, and all these things are very important, and you can't provide homes for all, housing for all. That dream to be realized, we need to affordable homes for all means they need to afford homes. That is what, so we need to create the jobs and the economic opportunities for all those people so they can earn that kind of a money to own a home. You can't bring down the cost to a great extent. You can, by some of these measures which I talked about, you can bring down, but still it is a pipe dream for many people. So their economic upliftment has to happen. Inclusive growth has to happen. So everybody should get an opportunity to own a home. That calls for a lot of thought process, lot of different kind of planning and a different kind of completely revamped, different kind of setup. You just can't do tinkering and then hope things will happen. No. The existing structures will have to be dismantled completely, and new structures will have to be erected. Urban administration, the governance has to change. The thought process has to change, the rules have to change. So these are very, very important if you want to achieve this dream of housing for all and then smart cities all over.
The summit also saw key stakeholders from the real estate sector come together to deliberate on the trends in construction, consumption and credit. The session was moderated by Neeraj Bansal, partner and head of real estate and constructions at KPMG. He was joined by Amit Oberoi, the National Director Valuation Advisory Services and Research at Colliers International, Manju Gaur, Director at Gulshan India, and Deepak Kapoor, Director, Gulshan Homz. The panelists spoke on a wide range of topics, including the pressing need for affordable housing.
It is primarily basically people wanted to have a view on affordable housing, that how affordable housing can change the shape of Indian real estate industry, and the summary synopsis is that the interest rate on the home loan should come down. There has to be a tax reforms from the government, which is the expectation of everybody, and the industry must get a industry status, real estate industry, which is long pending demand with the government, so that the good amount of capital at a longer period of time could be available to this industry to show that growth path, which is not happening for the last couple of years. Now the stable government has come, and they have promised a lot of goodies, and the thought process, the body language and the mindset of the today's political class is towards the growth of this industry, because now they have realized that in case the Indian economy has to boom, real estate has to take shape in a proper fashion. So we need to give a lot of good impetus to the real estate to be taken to the next level.
Another topic that was keenly discussed was that of corporate social responsibility and its importance in the real estate industry.
I think CSR nowadays, as you know, the monetary part, but now you have to spend 2% of your profit on the CSR activity. बट गॉडसन्स बहुत टाइम पहले से ये काम करता आ रहा है, अभी से नहीं उसने शुरू किया, आई थिंक 6 to 7 years बैक. हालांकि अगर मैं कहूँगी कि शुरू से ही हम तो इससे जुड़े हुए हैं, हम बहुत सारी ऐसी एक्टिविटीज़ यहाँ पे चलाते हैं जो CSR के तहत आती हैं. लाइक जैसे कि मैंने अंदर भी एक मेंशन किया जब पैनल डिस्कशन में कि एक मेरे फादर इन लॉ मिस्टर BL गौर चेयरमैन जो है कंपनी के, उन्होंने एक बुक लिखी नींव से नाली तक. एक 10th पास आउट जो कोई भी है उस बुक को पढ़ के एक कंस्ट्रक्शन सुपरवाइजर का कोर्स कर सकता है 6 months में. हमने एक ऐसा इंस्टीट्यूट वहाँ पे चालू कर रखा है, स्किल डेवलपमेंट के इंस्टीट्यूट हमने चालू करके उसमें जाके कोई भी इस तरह के कोर्सेज करके एक सुपरवाइजर का कोर्स कर सकता है, वहाँ पे अपनी अर्निंग ले सकता है. स्किल डेवलपमेंट के प्रोग्राम में आप छोटे छोटे प्रोग्राम्स करते हैं, प्लम्बिंग कर सकते हैं, इलेक्ट्रिशियन का कोर्स कर सकते हैं, मेसन का कोर्स कर सकते हैं. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ कोर्स यू कैन डू एंड यू कैन अर्न गुड बाय डूइंग ऑल दिस थिंग्स. दूसरा हम एक स्कूल आ रहा है हमारा गॉड इंटरनेशनल स्कूल, अपनी गॉड सिटी में स्कूल आ रहा है. स्कूल काफ़ी बड़ा स्कूल है, 5000 चिल्ड्रंस का स्कूल आ रहा है. आफ्टर स्कूल वी आर प्लानिंग फॉर द पुअर चिल्ड्रंस कि जब स्कूल बंद हो जाएगा उसके बाद हम गरीब बच्चों के लिए, जो हमारे मजदूर भाई हैं, जहाँ पे इतनी कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रही है, लॉट ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन इज गोइंग इन नॉइडा एक्सटेंशन, तो वहाँ के आके वो बच्चे पढ़ें और अपने जीवन को सुधार पाएँ. तो हमारे लिए यही कोशिश है. और भी हम बहुत सारे से काम हैं करते रहते हैं ताकि हम जो मोदी जी का अभियान है स्वच्छ भारत अभियान उससे जुड़ें और एक छोटी सी कोशिश के तहत अगर हम इस देश के लिए हम कुछ कर सकें तो.
The second panel discussion of the day threw the spotlight on commercial and retail real estate. The session was moderated by Yogeshwar Sharma, Executive Director of Select City Walk. He was joined by Munish Baldev, Head of Retail at Unitech, Santosh Kumar, the CEO Operations and International Director at Jones Lang LaSalle, Sushil S. Dungarwal, Chief Mall Mechanic at Beyond Square Feet Advisory, and Deepak K. Agarwal, the Chairman of SMC Real Estate Advisors. New benchmarks in mall management as well as the impact of e-commerce on the real estate landscape were discussed by the panel. The discussion also delineated innovative funding options for real estate developers, especially in times of flagging sales.
See, the topic of my session is the banks, they are not forthcoming to give the financing to the real estate sector the way the industry wants. The NBFCs, the financial institutions, they are not just funding, and even if the funds are coming, they are getting at a very higher rate, and that is a big problem. And why it is more a bigger problem? Because of the double whammy. The sales are just not happening. You know, in these tough times, as somebody says that necessity is the mother of invention, and some people, they took it as an opportunity. Even the regulations, even the legislations, they have become attuned to the requirement. We have seen the introduction of REITs. We have seen FDI rules easing. I think these two developments are definitely going to help the developers, the builders. The REITs can be a game changer. We expect that around 60,000 crore rupees is going to be unlocked in next 1.5 years. If that happens, that would be a big comforting factor for the real estate. And apart from that, some I'll say innovative methods of getting finance, say from the debentures, secured debentures which are being secured by say 2 times security, they are being privately placed, and that is how also the builders have been able to get finance. So, but these are not the actually true solutions, because you need long-term capital, and that can come only from financial institutions, from the banks. So there has to be, you know, a definite effort from the government side to ease this financing to the real estate development, because no country can afford to, you know, affect the real estate development, and it is one of the key contributor to the GDP. So I believe that going forward, we would see some easing of rules by RBI, the interest rate coming down, and ultimately this real estate sector will get a boost.
The panel also discussed as to how malls can be strengthened as strong business avenues and how customers can be better engaged by them.
See, basically, you know, there's always a tendency in people that malls are unsuccessful. I would say every good mall is successful. You know, if the mall is not successful, there must be millions of reasons behind it not being successful, and if we can identify those reasons, it's very easy to mitigate those issues, you know, because by a social behavior, consumers will spend, okay, consumers will shop, and they would want to go to a shopping mall, okay, and now more and more it's become a part and parcel of our culture, you know. Shopping centers have now become community centers for the society, you know. So there's no way malls cannot do well. 3 reasons only why malls fail in India, I would say. 1, they are badly designed. 2, they are sold out models. And 3, they are badly managed by mall management companies. So if these 3 key things are taken care of, I would say almost every mall in the country can be successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to celebrate the achievement of visionaries who have done some outstanding work in the real estate sector. Estate Awards 2014, initiated by Estate World, is now in its 7th edition. This show is organized by Franchise India, which has been working since last 15 years in helping industries and business to achieve new phase of growth by bringing new business practices, and their larger philosophy continues to be, your growth is our business. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to request the President of Franchise India and the organizer and curator of the show, Mr. Sachin Maurya, to please come on stage to extend a warm welcome on this very cold winter night. Let's hear it for Mr. Maurya, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, very good evening. Objective of the show was about 5 years back to identify a community that we relate to the best, which is franchisees, channel partners, agents, brokers. And we looked at various consumption sectors, and we said that what are the consumption sectors wherein channel partners play an important role, because Franchise India is largely known for that. I really thank my team at Estate World and Franchise India who who took this small casual discussion between Remax and us to a point where we can proudly say it's one of the finest shows which happen in industry. And we will continue to commit ourselves to the consumer. We will continue to commit ourselves to the agent and quality practitioners of real estate sector. So with this, I must stop and let you enjoy the evening and celebrate people who've done extremely well in our sector. Welcome once again. Enjoy your evening.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to applaud you all, because it's time for the rewards. Best Real Estate Consultant of the Year Regional. Finlace Consulting Private Limited, redefining professionalism in real estate. Architect of the Year, Residential, Space Designers, and we welcome architect Vishal Mittal and Vikas Mittal of Space Designers based at Noida. Building Materials Supplier of the Year. And the winner is Pergo India Private Limited. Emerging Developer of the Year, Residential North, and the winner is Buland Buildtech Private Limited, and their aim is to turn dreams into reality with customer satisfaction as their motto. Integrated Township of the Year, North, Mahagan Modern, the name that performs.
Borrow Rise are taking right on stage our next awardee for Residential Property of the Year North. Please welcome ATS One Hamlet ATS Infrastructure Limited, the better way home.
Young Achievers Award North, Mr. Manoj Kumar Singh, Mangalia Buildtech Private Limited. Hope, home and happiness. Project of the Year, West, Raj Granda, Powai, Rajesh Life Spaces. Best Luxury Premium Housing Developer of the Year North, Gulshan Homz. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to a very, very special award, the Lifetime Achievement Award, which goes to Mr. Sushil Ansal, Chairman, Ansal API.
I have one thing to share with you tonight, and which is the challenge that we all are facing. We talk of big challenges, we talk of India going through a difficult phase, we talk about several other things, but let's look within ourselves. We will appreciate that the image of the real estate developers is not that good, which we would all like it to be. It is for us to remove this myth and remove this apprehension and this fear and this, may I say, little tarnished image of our industry amongst the investors, the media, and the politicians. This tarnished image must be removed. In the end, it's not the money that you earn that matters. It is the image and reputation that one earns that matters. And that never dies. Everything else goes away and comes. If we all go today after taking a vow that we will from tomorrow onwards ensure to the best possible extent we undergo a change for the better, a change which will improve our image and reputation in the country. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We feel very happy and proud that we are delivering such a wonderful projects, which are those projects which are award winning. So not a thing about winning, but we are winning the hearts of lots of people by creating such a beautiful houses for the community, and we want to serve with the honesty and with the quality, not a quantity.
On behalf of camp developers, first of all, I would like to thank to the jury, Franchise India, for nominating us as the best real estate affordable project of the year. We are quite humbled by the gratitude and by the initiative, which is bringing up a lot of knowledge, a lot of education, a lot of awareness about the smart city concept, about the land pooling policy, about the opportunities related to the residentials, related to the commercials, what the industry phase is going through. The journey from the morning till this time is very important and was very fruitful, because a lot of the decisions, a lot of the industry experts that spoke us about the entire phenomena, the kind of scenario going on, the expectations from the budget was phenomenal.
I'm indeed grateful and thankful to Franchise India for selecting me for the Lifetime Achievement Award. I feel there is still a long way for me to go. I'm still young at mind, and I think many more miles to cover.
We set some benchmarks. We look at businesses from a very different perspective. We look at it from the agent's point of view, how they see this developer performing, how he's delivered over the years. So I think in many sense these awards have become a benchmark which people reckon with. There is a trust in the community in terms of who has fared and who's won this award. So I think in that sense it's really evolved over the time.